The automotive world is filled with moments that create excitement, but only a few truly capture the attention of millions of people at the same time. One such moment has now arrived with the latest update in the Bugatti Chiron rebuild project led by Mat Armstrong. For months, people have been watching closely as this ambitious rebuild slowly takes shape, but now something even more exciting has been revealed. A custom exhaust system is being developed, and it is not just any exhaust. This is a completely re-engineered system designed specifically for one of the most powerful engines ever made. The company working on this project, Valvetronic, has finally shown what they have been building, and the reaction from the community has been intense. Some people are amazed and full of excitement, while others are doubtful and concerned about whether this system will actually work. This mix of opinions has made the project even more interesting, turning it into a story that is not just about fixing a car, but about pushing limits and challenging what many believe is possible without factory support. At the center of this project is the Bugatti Chiron's powerful W16 engine, which is known for producing an incredible amount of power. This engine is not like a normal car engine. It uses 4 turbochargers and creates extreme heat and pressure when running at full power. Because of this, designing an exhaust system for such an engine is not simple at all. The exhaust is not just there to remove gases from the engine. It plays a major role in how the engine performs, how it sounds, and how reliable it is over time. If the design is not correct, it can reduce power, create unwanted noise, or even cause serious damage. This is why the original manufacturer spent years developing the factory exhaust system. However, in this rebuild project, the original parts are not available, and that has forced the team to come up with their own solution. Instead of copying the factory design, they're creating something completely new, and that is where the real challenge begins. The design that Valvetronic is working on is based on a concept known as a double X-pipe system. In simple terms, this means that the exhaust gases from different parts of the engine are merged and then split again in a way that improves both performance and sound. The idea behind this design is to balance the flow of gases so that the engine can breathe better, which helps it produce more power. At the same time, this setup can create a more aggressive and exciting sound, which is something many car enthusiasts love. However, achieving this balance is not easy. If there is too much back pressure, the engine will struggle to push gases out, which reduces performance. On the other hand, if there is too little back pressure, the flow can become unstable, leading to poor sound quality and even performance issues. This means every part of the exhaust system must be carefully designed and positioned with precision. One of the most interesting parts of this project is that the team is not starting completely from scratch. They are using the original muffler casings as a base and redesigning everything inside them. This approach allows them to keep some of the original structure while still creating a completely new system. To make this possible, they are using modern tools like 3D printing to create templates and test different designs before final assembly. This shows that the project is not just about creativity, but also about using advanced technology to solve complex problems. The fabrication process itself is expected to be extremely challenging. Working with materials that can handle high temperatures and stress requires skill and experience. Every weld, every joint, and every connection must be perfect because even a small mistake can lead to failure when the system is under extreme conditions. As soon as images of the exhaust components were shared, people began reacting immediately. Some viewers were impressed by the craftsmanship and called it a work of art, while others questioned whether such a system could survive the demands of the W16 engine. This difference in opinion has added another layer of excitement to the project. It is no longer just about building an exhaust system. It has become a test of whether independent builders can achieve the same level of engineering as major manufacturers. The coming stages of this rebuild will be critical, as they will show whether this bold approach will succeed or fail. For now, one thing is clear. This custom exhaust has already become one of the most talked about parts of the entire project. As the details of this custom exhaust system continue to emerge, it becomes clear that this project is not just about making a car louder or more aggressive. It is about solving a very complex engineering problem without the support of the original manufacturer. Normally, a company like Bugatti spends years testing and refining every part of their cars, especially something as important as the exhaust system. They use advanced tools, computer simulations, and real-world testing to make sure everything works perfectly under all conditions. In this case, however, the team working on the rebuild does not have access to that same level of factory data. This means they must rely on their own knowledge, experience, and creativity to develop a system that can handle the extreme demands of the Chiron's engine. This alone makes the project both exciting and risky, as there is very little room for error when dealing with such a powerful machine. The W16 engine inside the Bugatti Chiron is known for producing massive amounts of heat, especially when all 4 turbochargers are working at full capacity. This heat must be managed carefully because if it builds up too much, it can damage surrounding components or even cause the exhaust system itself to fail. This is one of the biggest challenges Valvetronic faces while designing the custom exhaust. They must choose materials that can withstand very high temperatures while still being strong enough to handle pressure and vibrations. Titanium is often used in such applications because it is both lightweight and highly resistant to heat, but working with it requires a high level of skill. The welding process must be precise, and the design must allow for expansion and contraction as the temperature changes. If these factors are not considered properly, cracks can form over time, leading to serious problems. Another important aspect of this build is the acoustic design of the exhaust system. Sound plays a huge role in how people experience a car, especially one as special as the Bugatti Chiron. The factory exhaust is carefully tuned to produce a sound that matches the car's luxury image. It is powerful but also refined, which suits the type of buyers Bugatti targets. In contrast, this custom system is being designed with a different goal in mind. It aims to create a louder, more aggressive sound that highlights the raw power of the engine. This is where the double X-pipe design becomes very important. By controlling how the exhaust gases mix and flow, the system can produce a deeper and more complex sound. However, achieving the right balance is not easy. If the design is too aggressive, the sound may become unpleasant or overwhelming. If it is too controlled, it may not deliver the excitement that people expect from a custom build. The use of modern technology in this project also deserves attention. The team is using 3D printing to create templates and test different parts of the exhaust before final production. This allows them to experiment with different designs and make adjustments quickly without wasting materials. It also helps them ensure that all components fit perfectly within the limited space available in the car. This is especially important because the Bugatti Chiron has a very complex layout, with many components packed tightly together. Even a small change in the exhaust design can affect how other parts fit and function. By using advanced tools, the team can reduce the risk of errors and improve the overall quality of the final product. As more information about the project spreads, the reactions from the community continue to grow stronger. Supporters of the rebuild see this as proof that independent builders can achieve incredible results even without factory support. They admire the effort and skill required to take on such a challenging project. On the other hand, critics remain skeptical. Some believe that without access to Bugatti's original data and testing methods, it is impossible to create a system that will perform reliably over time. They worry that the exhaust could fail under extreme conditions, especially given the power and heat generated by the W16 engine. These concerns are not completely unreasonable, as even small mistakes in design or fabrication can lead to serious issues in high-performance systems. This ongoing debate between supporters and critics has become a key part of the story. It adds tension and keeps people interested in what will happen next. Everyone is waiting to see whether the custom exhaust will meet expectations or fall short. The outcome will not only affect this specific rebuild, but could also influence how people view independent automotive projects in general. If the system works as intended, it could prove that skilled builders can create solutions that rival those of major manufacturers. If it fails, it may reinforce the idea that some projects are simply too complex to complete without factory involvement. For now, the project continues to move forward, and each new update brings more excitement and anticipation for what lies ahead. As the rebuild continues to move forward, the custom exhaust system is becoming more than just a single component in the project. It is now a symbol of the entire effort to rebuild a hypercar without the support of its original manufacturer. This idea alone has captured the attention of millions of people around the world. Normally, cars like the Bugatti Chiron are not meant to be repaired outside of official networks. The company carefully controls parts, service, and technical information to ensure that every vehicle meets their high standards. When an independent builder attempts something this complex, it challenges the traditional way of thinking in the automotive industry. This is why the project has become so popular, not just among car enthusiasts, but also among people who are interested in innovation and problem-solving. One of the biggest challenges in this rebuild is the lack of access to original parts. Bugatti has made it clear that they do not support this type of project, which means the team must find alternative solutions for almost every major component. This includes the gearbox, radiators, structural elements, and now the exhaust system. Each of these parts plays a critical role in the performance and safety of the car. For example, the gearbox must handle the enormous power produced by the W16 engine, while the cooling system must keep temperatures under control even during extreme use. Without factory support, these components must either be repaired or recreated from scratch. This requires not only technical knowledge, but also the ability to work with specialists who have experience in different areas of engineering and fabrication. The custom exhaust fits perfectly into this larger picture. It represents the idea that when one solution is not available, another can be created through skill and determination. The team working on the exhaust is not simply trying to copy what Bugatti originally built. Instead, they are using their own ideas to design a system that could potentially offer different benefits. For example, while the factory exhaust focuses on refinement and comfort, the custom system aims to highlight the raw power of the engine. This change in focus shows how different design goals can lead to completely different results, even when working with the same base vehicle. It also demonstrates how creativity can play an important role in engineering, especially when facing limitations. At the same time, the risks involved in this approach cannot be ignored. Building a custom exhaust for a high-performance engine is already a difficult task, but doing it without access to original data makes it even more challenging. Every decision must be carefully considered, from the choice of materials to the layout of the pipes. The team must think about how the system will behave under different conditions, such as high speeds, heavy loads, and long periods of use. They must also consider how the exhaust will interact with other parts of the car, including the engine, cooling system, and body structure. Even small mistakes can have serious consequences, which is why attention to detail is so important in this type of project. Another interesting aspect of this rebuild is the way it brings together different experts from around the world. Each specialist focuses on a specific part of the car, contributing their skills to the overall project. For example, some are working on repairing the radiators, while others are focused on machining new components or scanning parts for reproduction. This collaborative approach allows the team to tackle multiple challenges at the same time, making the rebuild more efficient. It also highlights the importance of teamwork in complex engineering projects. No single person can handle everything alone, especially when dealing with a machine as advanced as the Bugatti Chiron. The reaction from the public continues to play a major role in shaping the story of this rebuild. Supporters see each new update as proof that progress is being made, and they celebrate the creativity and effort involved. The critics, on the other hand, remain cautious and continue to question whether the project will succeed in the long run. This mix of opinions keeps the audience engaged and encourages discussions across social media platforms. It also adds pressure on the team, as they know that many people are watching closely and waiting to see the final result. This level of attention can be both motivating and challenging, as it raises expectations and increases the importance of every decision. Looking ahead, the success of the custom exhaust system will likely play a key role in determining the outcome of the entire rebuild. If it performs well, it will not only enhance the car's sound and performance, but also strengthen the argument that independent builders can achieve remarkable results. It could inspire others to take on similar challenges and push the boundaries of what is considered possible. However, if the system encounters problems, it may highlight the difficulties of working without factory support and remind people of the importance of original engineering. Either way, the project is already making an impact by sparking conversations and challenging established ideas in the automotive world. As the rebuild project continues to gain momentum, attention is now shifting toward how all the individual components will come together, especially the custom exhaust system. While designing and fabricating the exhaust is a major achievement on its own, the real challenge lies in integrating it perfectly with the rest of the car. The Bugatti Chiron is not a simple machine where parts can be added or removed without careful planning. Every component is designed to work in harmony with others, and even a small change can affect overall performance. This means the custom exhaust must fit precisely within the car's structure, connect properly to the engine, and operate smoothly alongside the cooling system and other mechanical parts. Achieving this level of integration requires not only technical skill but also a deep understanding of how the entire vehicle functions. As a system point, one of the key areas of concern during this stage is space management. The Chiron's engine bay is extremely compact, with very little room for modifications. The presence of 4 turbochargers, multiple cooling systems, and various electronic components leaves limited space for routing the exhaust pipes. This is where careful planning and modern tools become essential. By using 3D scanning and digital modeling, the team can map out the exact dimensions of the available space and design the exhaust system accordingly. This process helps avoid problems such as pipes interfering with other components or creating unwanted heat zones. It also ensures that the system can be installed without requiring major changes to the car's original structure, which is important for maintaining its overall integrity. Heat management remains another critical factor during integration. As the exhaust system operates, it generates extremely high temperatures that can affect nearby parts. In a car like the Chiron, where components are placed very close together, this becomes a serious concern. To address this, the team must use heat shielding and proper insulation techniques to protect sensitive areas. They must also design the exhaust layout in a way that allows heat to dissipate efficiently. This includes considering airflow within the engine bay and ensuring that hot gases are directed away from critical components. If heat is not managed properly, it can lead to reduced performance, damage to parts, or even safety risks. This is why such careful attention is given to every detail during the design and installation process. At this point in the project, testing becomes increasingly important. While the design may look perfect on paper, real-world conditions can reveal unexpected issues. The team will need to test the exhaust system under different scenarios, such as idle, moderate driving, and full throttle operation. These tests will help them identify any problems related to sound, performance, or durability. Adjustments may be required to fine-tune the system and ensure it meets expectations. This process can take time, but it is necessary to achieve a reliable and high-quality result. It also shows the level of commitment involved in the project, as the team is willing to invest the effort needed to get everything right. Meanwhile, other parts of the rebuild are progressing alongside the exhaust development. The gearbox, which is one of the most critical components, is being carefully examined to determine whether it can be repaired or needs replacement. This decision will have a major impact on the timeline and cost of the project. At the same time, specialists are working on repairing the radiators and fabricating structural components. Each of these tasks is complex on its own, but together they form a larger picture of a project that is pushing the limits of what independent builders can achieve. The coordination between different teams and specialists is essential, as delays or issues in one area can affect progress in others. The excitement surrounding the project continues to grow as more updates are shared with the public. People are eager to see how the custom exhaust will perform once it is fully installed and tested. The anticipation of hearing the W16 engine with a completely new sound profile has become one of the most talked about aspects of the rebuild. For many viewers, this moment represents the true reward of all the hard work and effort put into the project. It is not just about completing the rebuild, but about experiencing something unique that has never been done before. In the end, the success of this stage will depend on how well the team can bring together all the elements of the project. The custom exhaust must not only perform well on its own but also contribute positively to the overall function of the car. If everything comes together as planned, it will be a powerful demonstration of what can be achieved through innovation, teamwork, and determination. This stage marks a turning point in the rebuild, where ideas and designs begin to transform into a fully functional machine that is ready to return to the road. As the project moves closer to completion, the focus now shifts toward the moment everyone has been waiting for, the first full startup of the rebuilt Bugatti Chiron with its custom exhaust system installed. This moment is not just important for the team working on the car, but also for the millions of viewers who have been following every step of the journey. It represents the point where all the planning, designing, and fabrication will finally be tested in real conditions. Until now, everything has been based on calculations, experience, and careful construction. But when the engine starts and the exhaust begins to flow, there will be no room for guesses. The system will either perform as expected or reveal problems that need to be addressed. This uncertainty is what makes the moment so exciting and also slightly tense. Before reaching this stage, the team must go through a final round of checks and preparations. Every connection in the exhaust system must be inspected to ensure there are no leaks or weak points. The mounting brackets must be secured to prevent unwanted vibrations, and all heat shielding must be properly installed to protect nearby components. Even the smallest detail can make a big difference when dealing with such a powerful engine. In addition, the engine itself must be carefully prepared, with all supporting systems like cooling and fuel delivery functioning correctly. This level of preparation shows how serious the team is about achieving a successful result. They understand that a smooth first startup is not just about luck, but about careful planning and attention to detail. When the moment of truth finally arrives, the atmosphere is likely to be filled with anticipation. As the engine turns over for the first time, everyone will be listening closely to the sound produced by the custom exhaust. This is where the design choices made earlier will truly come to life. The double X-pipe system, the material selection, and the overall layout will all play a role in shaping the final sound. If everything works as intended, the result could be a deep, powerful tone that reflects the true character of the W16 engine. This would be a major achievement, as creating a sound that is both aggressive and pleasing is not an easy task. It requires a careful balance between different elements, and even small changes can have a noticeable effect. At the same time, performance will also be closely observed. The exhaust system must allow gases to flow efficiently, helping the engine produce its full power without restriction. Any signs of excessive back pressure or uneven flow could indicate issues that need to be corrected. Temperature levels will also be monitored to ensure that the system is handling heat properly. If the exhaust becomes too hot in certain areas, it could lead to long-term problems. This is why testing does not end with the first startup. Instead, it marks the beginning of a new phase where the system is evaluated under different driving conditions. The team may need to make adjustments based on the results, fine-tuning the design to achieve the best possible outcome. For the audience, this stage is where all the debates and discussions begin to find answers. Supporters who believed in the project will be looking for confirmation that their confidence was justified. Critics who doubted the system will be watching closely for any signs of failure. This moment has the power to change opinions on both sides. If the exhaust performs well, it will strengthen the idea that independent builders can take on even the most complex challenges. It will show that with the right skills and tools, it is possible to create solutions that rival those of major manufacturers. On the other hand, if problems arise, it will highlight the difficulties of working without factory support and remind everyone of the challenges involved in such ambitious projects. Beyond the technical aspects, this moment also carries emotional significance. For the team, it is the result of countless hours of hard work, problem-solving, and dedication. For viewers, it is the reward for their patience and interest in the project. Hearing the engine come to life with a completely new sound will make the entire journey feel real and complete. It is a reminder of why people are so passionate about cars and engineering. The combination of power, sound, and craftsmanship creates an experience that is both exciting and inspiring. As the rebuild reaches this critical stage, one thing becomes clear. This project is about more than just fixing a damaged car. It is about proving what can be achieved through determination and creativity. The custom exhaust system plays a central role in this story, representing both the challenges and the possibilities of independent engineering. Whether it exceeds expectations or reveals new obstacles, it will leave a lasting impression on everyone who has followed the journey. The final outcome will not only define the success of this rebuild, but also influence how similar projects are viewed in the future.